What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are talking about Lucid Motors here in this video. It's been a relatively flat day after we did open up about 8%. There's a little bit of news to go over, but what I am seeing that is very interesting is we are seeing a lot of activity on the option chain expiring by the end of this week. So I do think we could see a push higher, but I want to give you guys the positives like the gamma squeeze. The shorts have not covered, but I do want to talk about how to trade this safely and to not risk it for the biscuit at this current moment, because we have rallied a lot. We will come down eventually, and you do not want to be caught holding the bag if this was only a trade for you. If this is a long-term investment, by all means, this is a great price in my personal opinion to be picking up shares. And then after all of that, I'm going to be showing you guys my position in Lucid Motors. So let's get into this video. Hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comment section, what is your price target for Lucid Motors in the short term, in the long term? Let me know what your price target is. Now, before we do get into all of the information, let me talk to you guys about the sponsor of this video. That is Moomoo. Get full extended hours trading. That means free pre-market and after hours trading, free level 2 market data. You have to pay for this on other investment apps, as well as my favorite part, 24/7 financial news. They will give you notifications for everything you guys need to know: short squeeze trades, what is going on in the overall markets with the Fed, and everything else you need to know to make educated decisions. And the faster you can get news, that ultimately will mean a lot more money for you guys in your trading activities. As well as that, it's somewhat like Public with a global investment community. So you can write posts, you can follow people much the same way, like I said, as Public. Use the link in the description, deposit $100, get up to $350 in free stock. I did this. I got a free share of Starbucks, so I gained over a 100% return just by depositing $100. So definitely check that out. 24/7 customer service, all the shebang. And if you guys like this service, I have tended to realize over my years of investing, if you like the product, it usually turns into a good investment over time. This is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ under ticker symbol FUTU Holdings. So definitely check that out if you guys do want to. It's up like 6% today. That's not financial advice. Do whatever you guys want to do, but that is that down below in the description of this video, as well as the buy and sellers link down there if you guys want to be a part of all of the trades that I make in real time. Now let's talk about everything Lucid Motors. And for the day, we're negative 0.03%. We've really been bouncing in between about 0.5% positive, 0.5% negative. We've mostly been positive for the day, trading pretty sideways. Now, when we did open the day today, we were at about, what is this, $40.17, so right on this $40 resistance level, and that was up about 8.5%. We instantly sold off down to $35.73, and we've been chilling out around $37. It looks like the market is waiting for more information of what is going to happen next with Lucid Motors, because they just started delivering their first vehicles on October 30th, and I do believe it was about 65 vehicles that were delivered. But people are still betting a lot on the option chain for a move higher, as well as the shorts have not covered. And let's get into that first. Let me pull that up for you guys. So looking at the Ortex data, we can see as well on October 29th, we got a short squeeze type 3 rating. The return is available in one day. The mean return is about 12%. So important to know that. But the short interest of free float is 8.64%. Current shares that are sold short of 46.9 million. Not super high, not super low, but the amount of shares that are sold short is relatively high compared to the volume that we've seen before this last spike. So I think that's significant right there. As far as the share utilization, that's at 66.06%, meaning there is a decent amount of shares that still can be sold short. The closer to 100% this is, that essentially means that there is not as many shares outstanding. The share utilization, if you guys don't know, if it's at 100%, that means there is no shares available to be lent out to be sold short. If it's at like where we are right now, 66.06%, that means 66% of shares that are available to be lent out have already been lent out. This is not high, it's not super low at the same time. So there is definitely shares that can be sold short into the marketplace. And the free float on loan, meaning the total amount of shares that are out on loan, including sold short, is at 9.0 9.11%, comparing that to the 8.64 short interest of free float. There's a little bit of room for shorts to sell the stock short, but I don't see that happening just because the shorts have not covered. We've only went down about 1% in the short interest. So this whole rally, probably mostly longer term investors and FOMO buyers that did buy into Lucid Motors. So that's the first thing that is very important to point out. The second thing we have to talk about that is very important is this potential gamma squeeze by the end of the week. And when I say potential, do not think I'm saying this is going to happen. This is a potential. This does not mean risk your portfolio on betting that Lucid makes another move to the upside. But expiring on November 5th, 2021, obviously this Friday at the $37 strike, $4,600 for open interest. At the $38 strike, $6,000 for open interest. At the $39 strike, $4,500 for open interest. And at the $40 strike, $20,392 for open interest. All in all, this controls about 3.5 million shares that will have to be hedged for, and we are only about $3 out of the money. We were actually at about $40, like I said, in the beginning of trading today. You're also seeing a lot of volume still on this option chain. At the $40 strike, we are seeing already 56,000 for volume on the day. So a lot of people are still trading these options, and we're actually making a move to the downside slightly as we do currently speak. Something that I want to point out as well on the technical analysis front, like we did say today, we topped out at $40.17, so that is confirmed going to be a resistance level. But what did happen over here is when we did gap up to, like I said, about $40, we came right back down the next day. This lower end wick of this candle fell right on our support level at about $33 per share. So I think that's going to be our worst case scenario until earnings. And that's really where I want to turn the focus of this video. As far as, you know, not just the positives, but talk about what could potentially happen to the negatives, because it's obviously a good thing that we gapped up, we're staying up, and we're actually continuing to slowly climb up after we did hit this low at $33. So right there, it's bullish. This whole thing looks bullish, but eventually we're going to have to come down, and earnings is on November 15th and after hours. Now, if they've only delivered about 65 vehicles or whatever the number is, right, they're only supposed to deliver about 550 of these Dream Air additions, you're only going to be looking at, you know, a couple $1 million, right? You're going to be looking at $25 million, roughly $35 million. So the numbers are not going to look too great. So you could see a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. But I do expect if they are already having earnings that there's going to be some other announcement that could offset, obviously, the low revenue numbers that we are going to get. But we still could take a decent sized dip on this. So just be very, very careful. We still have a while, about 14 days from now, until we do get earnings. So there's definitely room for this thing to trade in limbo, go higher or go lower. But if you are, you know, looking to invest in this for the long term and you have a 5, 10, 20 year outlook, I don't think you could go wrong buying shares at the current moment. If you're doing this for a trade, I would be very careful and don't ever invest or trade more than you would be able to lose or afford to lose. So that is the current situation. As far as, you know, what is going on, if you guys go to the Twitter, there is a video that you guys can watch, Lucid Dream Air Delivery Experience, October 30th, 2021. Excuse me, I have really bad heartburn right now. But anyways, you can see a lot of things, a lot of people saying positive things. And even if you look up Lucid Motors news right here, Market Insider, Lucid jumps as Air reviews suggest it's a worthy Tesla competitor. So a lot of talk about Lucid taking on Teslas, maybe stealing some market share. Who knows? It's way too early to see that. Let's just see how they do crank out these vehicles and what kind of pre-orders they do start to get, because that's a great thing about Lucid Motors as well. Everybody knows what Tesla is. Nobody knows what Lucid Air is, and we had 13,000 pre-orders last we knew for this vehicle, and that was really probably a lot of investors or people that just happened to stumble across a vehicle that have, you know, a decent amount of money on the sidelines that wanted to pick one up. Once the vehicles are on the road and people see them, that's where you're going to start getting all the pre-orders and the attention that starts to come in. So I actually think when it comes down to it, we could have a manufacturing disability, right? We could have a issue with manufacturing enough for the demand of these vehicles. We'll have to wait and see. That's only my opinion. I think you're going to have a strong demand for these vehicles, and this is a big long-term investment for me. It's about 24.5% of my portfolio, 300 shares at $21.46 for the average cost. I'm up $4,500 or about 70% on my total investment, down 1.49% on the day, about $170 since Lucid is starting to take a small dip right now. Portfolio market value of about $11,000. Now, this is where I did get clapped. Lucid $42 calls for February 18, 2022. I'm hoping it comes down before then. It could shoot well past this and then ultimately hopefully come under $42 so I can just ride these out till expiration. If Lucid is under $42, then I probably won't be obligated to sell my shares at $42. Technically, with options, if you sell calls, you can get exercise right away, but who would want to pay $42 for 100 shares if you could buy the stock for $36.45? That's why rarely you will get executed on or assigned on options that are not in the money or before expiration. But that's usually why you don't, because it's cheaper to buy the stock on the open market than to exercise a losing option. So that's really what you guys need to know. Down about 1,000% on that. I did sell these for $215 per contract. I'm just gonna hope and pray Lucid is under $42 by February 18, 2022. If it's not, then I'll just have to be forced to sell my shares for a massive profit and then eventually buy back into the stock, hopefully whenever it takes a dip. So that is the situation. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this video. If you do, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the sponsor of this video, Moomoo. Like I said, if you guys want to invest in the stock itself, if you like the service, I really like the service. The stock's up 7.35% today. Obviously other people have the same idea as me. Check it out. Futu Holdings, not a recommendation. You guys are the ones that are responsible for your own investments and your own investment choices. So that's going to be all. Also, like I said, buy and sell alerts linked down below in the description, as well as other links for free stocks. Check that out. Help support the channel, all of that good stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next video.